right. Welcome to the welcome to episode 2 of the Just Our Stupid Opinions podcast. Today we'll talk about the recent uh, news and free agency and just offseason, NFL offseason in general with the Browns making some moves, some real impressive moves to bolster that offense and not really giving up too many draft picks in the process. So that's they're the new GM. He's knows what he's doing, it seems, and Richard Sherman Richard Sherman signing with his rival team. So and after we discuss all that, like I did last week, Christian has his first round mock draft put together. He'll go over that. We'll discuss that.
It's perfect.
Promised in episode 1. So, yeah, we'll get right into it. Browns.
The Browns.
Golly, man.
It's like
Tyrod Taylor, Jarvis Landry for a 5th round pick.
it's like they're playing Madden all of a sudden. They're just making moves.
For real.
It's like 3 or 4 trades on one day.
I'm sure the Dolphins. I know you wanted to get rid of them, no matter what, but and it was you didn't want any players in exchange, but because you wanted to dump his salary, but golly, you gotta get more than a 5th round pick. I'm sure there was the possibility that pick turns into a superstar, but
Yeah, I don't understand NFL trades sometimes. There's like every few years a guy like that a team just gets rid of for no reason, like for nothing.
I know it's
like Akeem Talib too went to
at that point
for a 5th round pick.
At that point, you might as well release them. You know?
Yeah, I mean basically,
I guess that's completely untrue because at least you get if you release them, you get nothing for them. But you get
seems like you should be able to get more than teams do a lot of times.
I thought the Alec Ogletree trade was bad by the Rams, only getting 2 picks. I believe it was a 4th and 6th round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
For your top linebacker.
Yeah, I get it money-wise, they need to re-sign Aaron Donald, but it seems like they could have got more. Alec Ogletree's pretty good.
But
I like it for the Giants, though.
Take it.
Yeah.
Tyrod Taylor, they just had to give up a 2nd round pick. They already had 2 of them, so.
Yeah, and Tyrod Taylor is not a great quarterback, but he can get you to the playoffs, which obviously would be a massive achievement for the Browns.
A massive achievement for the Bills franchise.
Yeah.
For real. But yeah, get a capable quarterback who can definitely lead you to some wins.
If anything's possible, if Blake Bortles can almost make the Super Bowl.
Really. That is absolutely true. They add Jarvis Landry. They trade Danny Shelton, who, unfortunately for the Browns, and he himself seems to be a bust. Even so long they drafted.
That's
in the 1st round a couple years back.
That's the classic guy too that like Bill Belichick's gonna then turn into like a good player and he's gonna get like the game-winning sack in the Super Bowl or something.
He'll be a Pro Bowler within 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's amazing how they always manage.
Guy who had a lot of potential just needs to be untapped, needs to be tapped.
Sure.
But they made one on the move. Oh yeah, traded Deshaun Kaiser for a pretty good corner to the Packers.
I still have a theory that the Browns thought they took Deshaun Watson and didn't realize that it was a different Deshaun. That's my theory.
Is that your conspiracy theory?
Yeah, They thought that Deshaun
Or
Watson
or is
was
that
the
just
same person.
that might actually be not just a theory. That might be fact that they
Yeah,
didn't realize it was the wrong Deshaun.
yeah. Like, hey,
But
well,
hey,
give
maybe
us.
there's someone who's got potential to be good. He showed some signs of showed some signs past season while, of course, going 0-16 because the team around him was awful.
He didn't show that
He's
many
got
signs.
he can now learn behind Aaron Rodgers
It's true.
and maybe be the Packers' future quarterback.
It's
Yeah,
true.
he's
True.
got the potential to be if he's successful with learning.
Yeah, might as well.
And to pair Jarvis Landry with Josh Gordon, big time.
Yeah,
That's big time.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's a very good pair. They don't have any playing time yet, but they seem that it seems like they would complement each other really, really well.
Yeah, I think so.
And but on to Richard Sherman. I,
It's gonna be weird not to see him in a Seahawks jersey.
years ago, he was calling the 49ers out for trying him with a sorry receiver like Crabtree. In those exact words.
It was the greatest moment in NFL history.
It honestly is up there because it's the NFC Championship too.
Yeah. Aaron Andrews almost had a heart attack during that interview. He was so afraid.
I remember watching that live.
I know. Please stop.
She about wanted to run away.
Who can blame her?
It's amazing that Richard Sherman, he's acts like that on live national TV, but he finished 4 years at Stanford with a 4.0. But whatever.
It's true, he's. Hey, you don't need smarts when you got skill.
A degree from Stanford is nothing. It'll happen. It's actually very high up there.
Mm-hmm.
And to finish. Did he go 4 years, or did he come out after his third junior year? I don't remember. I honestly don't remember him being college out. But
yeah, I don't really remember either.
I know he went to Stanford as a receiver. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
And he at the combine kind of ran a slow time, ran like 4.6 something. So hey, but
the 49ers are sort of an interesting team now. They have.
They really are. If they draft well, which they have the opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, and I bet
coach seems to be.
Yeah, they have Jimmy Garoppolo, who apparently is incapable of actually losing the game. So, and I would bet.
What is he like now? As a starter, 8-0.
Something like that. Yeah.
Something crazy like that.
And I would bet too that Kyle Shanahan's going to bring Taylor Gabriel over in free agency, because he knows how to use him.
I see. Yeah, Taylor Gabriel over.
From his old buddy from the Falcons.
Best year of his career under Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan as his offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he'll bring his old buddy back and utilize him well, I think.
Yeah, I think him leaving Atlanta too.
Yeah.
I do think that would be a good fit for him.
The NFC West is going to be interesting because obviously the Rams are young and good, the 49ers are up and coming, and then the Seahawks will still probably be at least decent.
The Seahawks will still be a contender, but I think they're really slide off. That offensive line play does not get better.
Yeah.
They don't well with offensive line wise. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Their window, so to speak,
if they
is
can find some guys that
closing.
Can play on the offensive line, shoot, they'll be just fine.
If they can have a time machine and go back in time and not do the Jimmy Graham trade, it'd help a lot.
Yeah.
But they won a Super Bowl. Should have won 2, but
But they didn't run the ball.
They didn't run the ball. And,
All right, you want to get into your first round mock?
Sure.
We'll go ahead and get into that. Talk about it.
Let's scroll up to the top. Number 1, I have the Browns taking Saquon. not too much of a surprise there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't see any Browns fan or any Browns fan that doesn't want him.
yeah, I mean, I think he's going to be really good,
Now
obviously.
there's no more discussion. Do they take Barkley or do they take a quarterback since they got Tyrod? So
Yeah,
it's
definitely not at number one. Maybe at number four. That's a bit of a question, but honestly, I think you wait till next year
if they want to,
because
if maybe if they want to get someone who developed behind Tyrod for a year, maybe,
possibly. But
maybe.
I think you wait till next year because I don't love any of these quarterbacks. I mean, I don't, any of them could be good, sure, but I don't think there's
Yeah,
a
right.
sure thing.
So I think now they've gotten their quarterback for the time being. I think Saquon's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So number two, I have the Giants taking Josh Allen to learn
Yeah,
behind
it's
Eli
someone
Manning.
who. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I originally
Because
had Sam Darnold, so it's another guy who needs to learn behind Eli. But both of
that's
them
true.
do. Both of them are
And
very good quarterbacks.
the Giants are going to need a
Both of them
quarterback in the future, so. And then Eli
both of them have
Manning's,
their flaws that can be fixed. So yeah,
yeah.
I like
And Eli Manning's a smart player. He knows how to read defenses and such. I think he'd be a good mentor to any of the
that.
quarterbacks, really.
Right. Three.
So number three,
Colts.
the Colts. I could see them trading down a few slots and taking an offensive lineman, and I think maybe that's
That's
what they'll do.
exactly
But
what I had them doing.
I have them taking Bradley Chubb just because I think they have a new defensive coordinator. I think they may want to get a defensive centerpiece and then try to get offensive line in the second, third round and free agency. But
Yep.
we'll see.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Bradley Chubb, I probably would be the best player on the board after Saquon.
Yeah,
He's, in my opinion, the second best player. Maybe it's Quentin Nelson. I think the second best player is either Quentin Nelson or Bradley Chubb. So it's just,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. I agree.
how early is too early to take a guard, right? You have to
True.
take a guard like Quentin Nelson, but who
Yeah.
has
Which I don't think Quentin Nelson at three would be a bad pick at all, if you ask me. I mean, I don't.
no, right? You're right.
So I
That's very
mean,
true. Just
so
go with the
I could
Colts.
see them do either one. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
that's the thing. Where I had the tough decision to decide between those two.
yeah. So number
So the Browns
four,
again at four.
yeah. This pick, by the way, I still don't understand why they didn't just take Deshaun Watson. I get that the fourth round, they got the fourth overall pick, but still, they should have just taken Deshaun Watson. Anyway, I have them,
Last year.
yeah, last year. I have them
Yeah,
taking
duh.
Mika Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I like that move there.
I think he fits well, with their sort of.
Let's say hypothetically, if let's say the Colts take Quentin Nelson at three, do you think the Browns would take Bradley Chubb to pair with Myles Garrett ahead of Fitzpatrick?
Mm, that's a yeah.
Or do you think
That's a.
their secondary has more of a need?
I could see either one. I almost feel like they may take a secondary piece since they already have.
Yeah, I agree. I think they would
Yeah,
take Mika in
that's
that situation.
yeah,
I think they need secondary
yeah.
more
I
so
like
than they.
I like Mika Fitzpatrick a lot. I also like that he calls himself Mika, even though it's clearly Micah. That's cool. I like that. Anyway.
It's and it's his name is spelled Minkaah. It has an N in it.
Oh, does it? Okay, I guess I wrote it
Yeah.
down wrong. All right. Well, never
Are you
mind then.
blind?
I wrote it down wrong. What can I say?
Alright, go ahead. Five.
I have the Broncos taking Quentin Nelson. I think they get either Kirk Cousins or Case Keenum, someone like that in free agency. I think they'll take a guard
Right. I agree.
to protect him. Not much to say
Gotcha.
there. Six, I have the Jets taking Baker Mayfield. I think there's mutual interest between the two.
Oh yeah. They're actually one of the teams that was moving away from the pro style,
Mm-hmm.
or or maybe they didn't do it with a quarterback like Fitzpatrick, or Christian Hackenberg, but they are one of the teams that's been saying we want to move away from the post offense towards the RPO offense, like the Eagles have.
Right.
And that's what Baker ran in college, and I think that's
true.
if they are wanting to move towards RPOs,
He's your guy.
Baker's the top guy.
Yeah. So number 7. Yeah, I agree.
6. No, 7. Sorry.
7.
7. It is 7.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I have the Bucks taking Denzel Ward. They need a cornerback. He's a cornerback. That's all.
I like that.
That's all I have to say. Number 8. This pick, I feel like it's a little high for this player. If they want this guy, I feel like they could trade down and still get him. But I have the Bears taking Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
They do need weapons.
They need weapons.
Sure.
They already have some decent defensive guys. I think they could take him, matching up with their good running backs, and hopefully a second-year improved Mitch Trubisky could be a nice fit.
Yeah, you need to get him some weapons. We don't know the Kevin White situation.
Yeah.
If he's ever going to be healthy ever again.
Yeah.
Just can't stay on the field, and it's a problem.
It's a shame.
Ridley.
Yeah, and Alabama receivers have a good track record, so.
Yeah, Julio Jones and Amari Cooper that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, not bad. Let's see. Number 9, I have the 49ers taking Derwin James, strong safety. I feel like he kind of fits what Shanahan's trying to build. Shanahan likes fast people.
The guy is a freakish athlete. I love Derwin James. I love watching him play.
Yeah.
And they lost the game against Alabama in the opener.
Mm-hmm.
But, man, he had a fantastic game.
Yeah.
He got one hit on Jalen Hurts.
Did it hurt?
Good one. Oh, man. That's
top notch comedy. High intellectual comedy.
Yeah, Derwin James is one of my favorite.
Yeah, and
favorite players.
Kyle Shanahan loves, athletes, like I said. And
he does love, he's a big fan of the highly athletic guys.
Yeah, and Derwin James fits
freakish
that.
Athletes, such as Julio Jones.
Right.
He was offensive coordinator in Atlanta. Julio Jones is undoubtedly a freakish athlete.
Right.
So the Raiders 10?
Raiders 10. I said this last time. I feel like this is just a match made in heaven for some reason. I have them taking Roquan Smith. I just feel like it's just
totally agree.
I don't even really know why. I just feel like that's just the perfect place for him.
He really does. This scheme they run,
they
need someone who can fly sideline to sideline. Roquan Smith
can definitely do that.
Linebacker running sideline to sideline.
Yeah, for sure. So number 11, I have the Dolphins taking Josh Rosen. They need.
Okay.
They could take something else. It wouldn't surprise me. They could go in a different direction, but they need a quarterback.
Rosen slipping a good bit.
And I have another.
I just noticed.
I have another. Yeah.
Yet.
Darnold's slipping too.
It could happen.
Hey, keeping it interesting.
So
number 12, I have the Bengals. What a terrible franchise. Just want to put that out there. What a horrible franchise.
Everlasting playoff losses.
Basically, this offseason, the front office and the ownership just flipped the finger to the entire fan base and said, "No, we're just gonna keep the same old, not improve at all."
I feel so bad for Bengals fans.
I know, I do too.
I know one or two of them, and it's hard to describe how angry they are about the.
I know.
Signing of
Whenever we get down about the Atlanta teams, we can always just think, well, it could be worse. We could be Bengals fans.
Right.
Honestly, I'd rather root for the Browns than the Bengals, because at least the Browns are just,
At least the Browns at this point.
Well, obviously now that they've made the trades, but even before that, it's like,
Yeah, definitely.
I'd rather have the hope of getting a number 1 pick and drafting a star than just being, 7-9 every year. Anyway, I have
Who they take?
the Bengals. They let really, this was my thinking on this. They need an offensive lineman. They love taking Georgia players. I have them taking Isaiah Wynn,
Really?
which I know
Wow,
is kind of high, but
yeah.
they need offensive
They,
line. They
I
like
see what
taking
you're
Georgia
saying, but
players.
they do their tradition with taking guys out of Georgia. They
Yeah,
seem to like what
Georgia produces,
in the
and
past what Mark Richt has produced, and now what Kirby Smart.
yeah, and it fits the
Really,
need.
Mark Richt brought in Isaiah Wynn, so
It's true. It's true.
they do like that. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
you know. Number 13, the Redskins. I have them taking Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. Uh, you know,
I like that fit for them. That's a good. They need someone who can rush the passer.
yeah.
And this guy,
So
yeah, he's
that,
a freakish athlete. Another guy who's a freakish athlete.
yeah. Uh, so number 14, the Green Bay Packers. They could pick literally any position on the board except quarterback, and it wouldn't surprise me. But I have them taking Will Hernandez, the guard. Um,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Yeah, I like Will. I like Hernandez. Balled out at Senior Bowl.
yeah. So the Arizona Cardinals. I have finally Sam Darnold coming off the board,
There
which
we go.
he slips a little
I do
bit.
like that.
They may in real life have to actually trade up a little bit to get him, but you know,
Yeah, I can see that. I do like that fit though.
yeah,
They've liked the traditional in history. They've liked the traditional
yeah,
pocket passer.
yeah. 16, the Ravens. I have they need offense, but there's not a great offensive. There's sort of a gap between offensive talent here, so I have them just deciding to boost their defense with Deron Payne,
All right, Toronto. I
which
like that.
I really like
Yeah,
Deron Payne a lot. I think he's going to be really, really good.
it's another team that likes taking players from certain colleges, and that's the Ravens and Alabama.
hmm They took,
C.J. Mosley.
yeah, that CJ Mosley. That was really, really good.
A couple other guys I'm just missing right now. Marlon Humphrey, corner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He looks seems to be a stud.
yeah. So number 17, the Chargers, after taking another defensive tackle, Vita Vea. It's a cool name.
Okay.
Uh, Vita means
I like that.
life, so he'll bring life to the run defense. Hey, and I only know that because of the PlayStation Vita. God rest its soul. Um,
Oh boy.
18, I have the Seahawks taking Josh Jackson. They need a replacement
Oh,
for
that is the perfect replacement for Richardson.
Richard Sherman.
Perfect.
There you go. Uh, 19, I have the Dallas Cowgirls taking Marcus Davenport, defensive
To
end.
go alongside Lawrence.
hmm
What's his first name? Marcus.
Lawrence Taylor. Yeah. 20, 20, the Lions, I have taking Dante Jackson, cornerback. You know,
Oh, okay.
the cornerback. 21, I have the Bills taking basically Tyrod Taylor, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, definitely need obviously quarterback now.
Right. So,
So they got the next pick as well.
and I have them taking Rashad Evans, linebacker.
Ah, yeah, I like that.
So they
I like
get
that pick.
offense and defense. I always wonder too when teams have back to
Sean
back
Evans.
when teams have back to back picks like that. How do they decide which one to take first? Because whoever gets picked second is just a little bit angry deep down.
And they get slightly less on their contract.
Mm-hmm.
They get slightly less cash. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
It's like how do they decide?
But
To,
I like Rashawn Evans. I like that. He's a, he's in the similar to Roquan Smith where he can run sideline to sideline.
yep.
Middle line, and he can play really any middle linebacker. Because Roquan is more. He can play middle or outside. Right, Rashawn can't. Roquan is gonna be. Is not much of a outside linebacker. He is a terrific blitzer,
Yeah.
but not. But not that type. He's not. I don't know. He just doesn't seem to be that type. But Rashawn Evans can be both.
Yeah.
I do like Roquan Smith. I believe he's a little bit
Yeah.
but not by a whole lot. He's really not.
Yeah. So, number 23, the Rams, I have them taking Harold Landry, linebacker out of Boston College. They just traded away for salary cap purposes, obviously. Alec Ogletree could kind of.
Yeah, he really impressed me watching him at the combine. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
24, the Panthers, I have them taking Cortland Sutton, the wide receiver. They need a replacement for Kelvin Benjamin, who I still don't understand why they just kind of gave him away for nothing, but, you know.
Yeah,
Because they've already.
another guy who's, I guess they didn't want to pay his big contract, you know.
I guess they were already weak at wide receiver, and they was like, "Hey, Bills, just have our number one wide receiver for some reason." But,
Yeah, so they'll get their Panthers and Cam Newton's patented big, huge receiver, Cortland Sutton.
mm-hmm.
I like that.
The Titans, I have taking Jair Alexander, cornerback. Um, you know, not much to say there,
Corner out of Louisville. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If they get a good cornerback, they may actually win like 9 whole games this year or something. It may be, you know, made that made that same joke last time. Gonna keep making it.
Wonderful.
You know, one trick pony
right
here.
Matthew on in the next episode, so we can bring fresh new comedy. Cause
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this in episode 1.
You calling me stale?
Yes, I'm calling myself stale as well.
Okay.
So, we'll bring him on to bring fresh new comedy. The guy, good friend of mine, the last couple of years, he comes up with the funniest stuff just out of thin air. It'll bring something really fun and new to the two of us who
are boring and dull.
It'll just be sports talk. He knows his sports. He knows his stuff. He knows sports.
He knows that Tim Tebow
he's
is secretly the greatest.
That'll be so. Episode 3, we plan to have him on, and anytime after that, we don't know yet. But he will be on episode 3. So just wanted to. So who we got now? The Falcons, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, good deal.
I have them taking Brian, the defensive tackle out of Florida. I would bet any amount of money they take either a defensive tackle or a guard in the first round.
Or guard. I think Isaiah Wynn will be on the board, and I think they'll take him.
Maybe. We'll see.
I go with the hometown guy, but
we'll see. Finishing it up here, Saints, I have taking Lottenbaugh Alexander, the linebacker.
Wait, who? Where does he play?
I didn't write down. I believe Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I didn't.
I think I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So yeah.
I believe I do know who you're talking about. Yeah.
The Steelers, I have taking. I'm not going to say this right. Mike McGlinchey, offensive tackle.
Mike McGlinchey.
Yeah.
Also another guy, 2 Notre Dame, right in a row.
Mm-hmm. The Jaguars, I have taking DJ Moore, wide receiver. Their defense is pretty set. Get another weapon.
Yeah,
maybe you can score enough points to beat Brady.
A lot of production from him out of Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of production.
Then I have 3 boring picks to finish it off. I have the Vikings taking James Daniels, guard.
That's perfect for them because he can play center,
right,
guard, which is, I guess, kind of a need at both.
Yeah.
Not really, where they have Reef at center, but he's someone else who can also play guard.
Right.
So you just decide whether James Daniels is going to be better at what that position. He played center mostly at Iowa.
Right.
So I think they'll probably maybe play him center and then move Reef over where he's just fine at guard.
Probably.
Or vice versa, So that's a really good pick for them. It gives them a lot of versatility on working with that offensive line. That's a good pick.
Right. And then at 31, the Patriots are picking at 31 because they didn't win the Super Bowl, you may remember. That's what happens when you don't win the Super Bowl. You pick 31. Colton Miller, offensive tackle. And then the last pick, I have the Eagles taking Jamari Jones, offensive tackle.
Jamari Jones, where's he from? I know I'm familiar with the player, but
Uh,
not the.
I believed it was Ohio State. I'll Google it real quick.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. So that's all. 32. I do like the Colton Miller pick from UCLA
Yeah,
to the Patriots. That's a good fit for that.
right.
Guy with a lot of upside.
Hmm.
He's a little raw.
But hey,
A very raw prospect. But he has a lot of upside. So
you know what Bill Belichick does to raw prospects? He cooks them.
he
He
puts them to
cook.
literal superstars,
He
no matter
cook.
what.
He
So.
cooks the raw meat well done. But
Oh,
well
that was
done.
terrible.
No pink. Completely well done.
Oh boy.
That's my
Alrighty.
top-notch comedy.
Yeah. Well, you need to get Matthew on here as soon as possible.
Hey, you know, I
Oh boy.
agree to disagree. I mean,
That was wonderful. Thank you.
you know, hey, I'll be here all week.
Excellent. All right. Well, that's all there to do. Is there anything else we need to talk about today?
Uh, you
I'm trying to
know,
think of other free agent signings that were recent. I don't really. I can't really come up with any.
literally just right now, this is not football related, but the Phillies signed Jake Arrieta. There's a breaking news alert for you.
No. No way.
Mm-hmm. They did. I don't.
The Phillies signed Jake. Wait. First of all, how?
Second of all, why?
Second of all, how?
3 years,
And third of
75
all,
million.
why would Jake Arrieta go to the Phillies? A team that cannot hit.
I don't know, and I also don't know why the Phillies spent that much money on an old pitcher when he's not the one missing piece they need to compete. Feels like a lot of money for someone who's
All
not
right.
putting them on the next tier there.
If the year was 2010 and the Phillies were trying to get back into contention, in the World Series contention after winning it 2 years before, a guy like Jake Arrieta would be perfect. Of course, not Jake Arrieta himself, who wasn't in the MLB at the time.
Right.
But why? You're
Yeah.
rebuilding.
Yeah. Like if that was the one
That
piece they needed, I would see it. But
So yeah, this is well, we're gonna talk as
feels.
the NBA playoffs race heats up. We'll discuss that, and in other episodes, we're not just gonna talk football in the NFL. We're gonna talk everything. We're gonna talk baseball,
Sometime soon, I had this idea.
basketball.
We need to do an episode where we make the predictions for every team's record in the MLB this season, and then do that as an episode.
That's an idea I also had. I think that would be fun. Going
Yeah.
by division and
Yeah,
when
and then
when
predicting the whole playoffs too. You know, each round of the playoffs as well.
yeah.
So that'll be soon.
Yeah, that's something you can. It's something that's a lot easier to do in league like the NBA because you always have 3 or 4 surprise teams, and then MLB, you never really have them in the that become in the MLB. You like I was gonna say you always have 3 or 4 surprise teams to become good
Hmm.
that are championship contenders. You might have a couple surprise teams in the NBA that get to the 5 seed and are eliminated by the
Yeah,
second round.
and then are swept
In the
by
MLB,
the.
you never know who you can never tell who's a championship contender and who's not.
Yeah,
You can never tell for sure.
the thing
That's
that
what I
always
like
makes
about.
the MLB playoffs so fun too is most years every single team that makes the playoffs has at least a chance to win the World Series, which is always fun.
Exactly. That you take who was the 8th seed in the East this past playoffs? Who was
You know, I don't even know who's the 8th seed right now. I have this. I'm looking this up as we speak.
um
I'm looking this up as we speak. The Milwaukee's
all right,
currently the 8th seed.
we'll look at it this way. Name all the teams that have a legit chance at winning the NBA championship.
Cleveland, Houston, Golden State, and I'll say Boston.
In Boston, it's 4,
Yeah.
if I can count correctly.
Hmm.
It's 4.
Yeah.
How many teams do you just you don't have to name them, but how many teams do you believe will come into the season with a legit chance at a shot and to win the Super Bowl?
Oh, the Super Bowl. I mean, probably at least 10, probably. Um,
I would say 10, 12, maybe 14. How about MLB? How many teams have a legit shot going into this season, which starts soon?
I mean, yeah, probably about the same. We have, like, in the National League, the Nationals, Cubs,
Yeah,
Dodgers, Rockies, Diamondbacks. The
there's
Giants may bounce back. The
probably
Cardinals
about
could be good again.
16 to 18 teams, honestly.
I mean, at the beginning of the
If
season, yeah, because there's always, there's
Yeah, I'm
always
talking at the beginning of this season, who was considered the four championship contenders?
those four, really. Yeah,
Those four. Maybe the Thunder were, but not anymore.
the Thunder. I just,
Maybe there was maybe five.
I just still don't.
Like anybody. That's what I like about baseball.
Yeah,
Also, having played it my whole life, but
yeah.
you know.
Baseball is the best sport. We all know it to be true. Okay, let's just throw that out
Anyway, I
there.
think that's about all we're gonna have to talk about this week.
Yeah. And I still don't understand how the Thunder just messed that up so badly.
I, I think
Russell
it's
Westbrook, James Harden, and Kevin Durant on the
you can
same
say
team.
you can argue that he's not a ball hog because of his numbers of assists.
Well, you know,
I, I,
Kobe had assists too at time to time.
right.
I mean,
He's just. I don't know. I like Russell Westbrook. I love watching him play, but man, does he
he's not the
that
best
bad
to
with the ball?
play with. Yeah, I mean, he can pass out of a double team 5 times a game and get 5 assists a game.
Right.
But
Yeah. Or 10 times a game, or 12, or
yeah.
15, however many.
But anyway, we'll save our Thunder slander for
And trying
another
to jump over
time.
Steven Adams for rebounds, so
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know if
He's
I had.
he doesn't even follow the pass, just get the rebound like Kobe Bryant. It's like he's on a whole nother level. It's like, no, just stand out of the way. I'm shooting and getting the rebound.
Right. Well, I think that's about it, I guess.
I would say
Um,
so.
Episode 3. This will probably be up Monday, just like episode 1 was, but we don't want to make this always a weekly thing. We want to have each episode out within a week, but maybe not weekly. Actually, episode 3 might come out Tuesday.
We abide by no schedule.
So yeah, it'll be. We want to do this
We
because
keep all of our
it's fun to
fans
us.
on their toes. You never know when an episode's about to drop onto the
So
airwaves.
we plan on for episode 3.
The madness is here.
We'll probably we plan on since we're recording this on Selection Sunday, we plan on all 3 of us, if Matthew can, do come join up. All 3 of us filling out our brackets live on show.
It's the year of the 16 seed, I'm telling you. I've seen it. I've seen the light. It's the year of the 16 seed. I'm picking Georgia State. Georgia State's going all the way.
Yeah, I just saw that they won their. Good for them.
Yeah.
So
National
it'll
champions.
be real fun. Episode 3. So see ya.
Oh, I forgot to mention Laramie Tunsil. I said I was going to do that every week. Laramie Tunsil. There you go.
There's your every episode. Language Huntsel mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
All right. I can go now.
Cool. All right. See you later, guys.